What up, everybody? Pauper MTG coming back at you with this new deck. We're gonna be looking to reanimate some stuff and attach a dragon dildo to it.
This blazing hot brew for a blazing hot summer day.
It's pretty hot out.
Just had the 4th of July. I'm feeling mighty patriotic.
That's right.
And I'm also ready to play Magic.
Let's get right into it then. Starting up with the lands, we got 3 Bloodfell Caves. Makes black or red, and you gain a life. This is good because we're going to be making black or red cards with our black or red mana in this deck. We got 3 Bojuka Bog. Enters the battlefield tapped. Exile all cards from target player's graveyard. It's not going to be us we're exiling cards from because we want cards in our graveyard, but we don't want them to have them for reasons I'm going to get into later.
There's a lot of graveyard shenanigans as well in this format, so just having a catch-all main deck that can just screw over someone's flashback or delve is pretty sick as well.
Go to hell, Gurmag Angler. That's what Bojuka Bog says. Next up, we got some amount of mountains that I don't feel like counting. I think it's like 9. We got a Rakdos Carnarium.
Read the deck list down below if you're curious as to how many mountains are in there.
Right. Anyway, we got Rakdos Carnarium as a 1-of. Enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, you return a land you control to its owner's hand, and it makes a black and a red mana. This is good because it makes a black and a red mana for reasons I touched on earlier, and we can use it to bounce Bojuka Bog and just Bojuka Bog again, and just keep Bojuka Bogging until we win.
No one's ever been able to survive 2 Bojuka Bogs before.
It's true. Let alone 3, or potentially even 4, I guess. And then we got 4 swamps. So that's the land base. 20 lands. A bit land heavy, but you know what? That's how we roll.
We want to hit our lands. We want to get that turn 2 cool thing to happen.
Yep. So coming up next, we got 1-drop slot. 4 Duress. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. That player discards that card. If you want to rip that one key card out, that kill spell, that counter, that win con, you just find it and you stick a needle in their eye until it pops out.
There you go. Stick a needle in your eye.
Yep, their eye, not mine.
Okay.
Right. We got Faithless Looting. Draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Then you flash it back for 3. You get to draw, you get to loot, you get to stick things in the graveyard right where you want them. We got Insolent Neonate, 1/1 for 1 with Menace. Can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Basically free damage if you play it early because no one's going to be able to drop 2 creatures to deal with. And then you can discard a card and sacrifice it to draw a card. So yeah, you can just cycle it.
Yeah, you can trigger Dredge off of it with Stinkweed Imp. You can attack with fire-breathing enchantment on it if you're really desperate.
If you really do not have anything else to do.
You should check out the stream that we did not too long ago where we won a game just with Insolent Neonate beats with like dragon dildos on it.
Is this the deck we played when we did that?
Vaguely.
Oh, okay. Sure.
It's heavily modified since those days.
Next up, we got 2 Lightning Axe. You can either pay an additional 5 or discard a card. We're probably going to be discarding a card as an additional cost. Otherwise, it's 1 damage that deals, or 1 mana that deals 5 damage to target creature. Pretty good. Says go to hell, flame slash. I'm better than you.
It's good at getting the things you want in your graveyard in them, and also good at clearing out pesky blockers.
Absolutely. All right, moving on to the 2-drop slot.
That thing kills Gurmag Angler for 1 red.
Just straight up. Moving on, we got 4 Exhume. Each player puts a creature card from his or her graveyard onto the battlefield. Definitely something we can abuse, assuming that we use one of our many tools to drop something in the graveyard early. On turn 1, turn 2 we Exhume, and then we kill.
I want so bad for Exhume to be a good card. I've never once played against an Exhume deck that was actually good.
Okay.
But it seems so powerful.
It seems so abusable,
yeah. The problem, of course, is that Pauper is only commons, and Wizards does not like to print powerful common creatures.
Who'd have thought?
They learned their lesson with Fangren Marauder, I guess.
Yeah, it's too late now for that. Next up, we got 4 copies of Dragon Dildo. Enchant creature. It has haste. It has fire breathing. And when a creature with converted mana cost 6 or greater enters the battlefield, you can pull it out of the graveyard and shove it right up that creature's butt.
Yep.
So
that's a thing we can do.
The goal is you go turn 1 Faithless Looting, and you drop Dragon Dildo and like Gurmag Angler or Ulamog's Crusher.
Oh, you want Ulamog's Crusher.
Well, you'll take one or the other, really, I guess. I don't know.
And then you draw Exhume, and you cast that on turn 2. Ulamog's Crusher comes into play, attach Dragon Dildo, he has haste, your opponent's annihilating 2. Can't really recover from that.
You really can't, it's impossible.
That's a really high upside, just being able to turn 2, murder somebody.
Right. That's pretty much a concession for most players on turn 2. Then we got 4 Tormenting Voice as an additional card. And as an additional cost to cast it, you discard 2 cards. Or a card, sorry. And then you draw 2 cards.
Well, effectively,
for 2 mana.
Discarding Tormenting Voice as well, so you're not really getting any card advantage there. But that's not what this deck is looking to even do.
Nope, we just want to put things in the graveyard so we can put a Dragon Dildo on them.
I love putting dildos into dead things.
Yep. Yep. Moving on to the 3 drops, we got 4 Stinkweed Imp. It's got flying. Whenever it deals combat damage to a creature, you destroy that creature. And as Dredge 5, you draw a card. Instead, you can put 5 cards from the top of your graveyard in your library. If you do, you can put it back in your hand instead of drawing your card.
Yeah, I mean, this guy can get your big creatures in the graveyard that you need. It's an excellent defensive card. Some decks just can't really beat a Stinkweed Imp, which is sad but true.
It kills everything, and it never dies. For good anyway. Moving on, the 5 drops, we got 2 Anarchists, 2/2 for 5. Enters the battlefield. You can return target sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. This is like the red mnemonic wall. And you use that to grab Exhume, mostly.
Yeah, Exhume if you accidentally mill it with the Stinkweed Imp, or just if you need a little bit of extra gas late game, you can pick up like a Duress or something. I don't know.
Or Faithless Looting, or Tormenting Voice, or...
He's exceptional. He's basically Exhume copies
5 through 6, yeah. Then we got, going up to the 7 drop slot, we got 4 Gurmag Angler. I don't need to explain this card. Everybody knows what Gurmag Angler does.
You don't even need to reanimate him. You can just pop that Dragon Dildo right on there.
You sure can. And it's got Delve, and it can be played for 1 mana, essentially, because we're going to be dropping a lot of cards in the graveyard.
Everyone's favorite 1 mana cost 5/5.
Yep, I mean, who doesn't love that? Then we got 4 Ulamog's Crusher, 8/8 for 8, Annihilator 2, has to attack, unfortunately. It's one downside, other than its 8 mana cost.
I think it's an upside, because then you don't even have to remember to attack. He just does it for you. Which seems to be a problem we sometimes have.
Always the silver lining. Yeah. So this is our kill. We want to exhume this on turn 2, put a Dragon Dildo right up its butt, and then just beat in.
Send him on his way.
Whatever the Eldrazi's purpose is, it has nothing to do with something so insignificant as us. And that's the main deck, so we're going to move on to the sideboard. We got 2 more Lightning Axe, in case we really need them.
In case enemy Gurmag Angler decks, you know, I mean...
Right.
The Dragon Dildo's good, but it's not that good. You need a little something to deal with those imposing anglers.
Right. Then we got 3 Pyroblast. Counter target spell if it's blue. Destroy target permanent if it's blue. Says suck it to blue decks. Nothing else needed to say about that. We got 2 Smelt, 1 mana, destroy target artifact. Affinity is pretty good, and I don't like getting rolled by it, so this is pretty good against Affinity. We got Nausea. All creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn.
That's going to change into Electrickery, actually, as soon as we're done. So pretend this is Electrickery.
Sure.
We're majority red sources, so I figure this is better. And it's also an instant, so...
Fair enough. Then we got 3 Terminate. Destroy target creature. Can't be regenerated. Pretty straightforward there, too. This is also against tokens, I guess, and it's kind of an alternate win condition if we feel like playing control for some reason. Deals 2 damage to target creature or player, and then you buy it back. So if you got 7 mana, you can just keep doing it over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when your tokens decks play that Veteran Armorer guide, give it like all your creatures +0/+1. I mean, that says, fuck you, Veteran Armorer, I don't care.
It's true. So yeah, that's the Dragon Dildos deck. Yeah, what do you think about that one, Rob?
Not too sure on the sideboard. But we did just kind of throw it together on a whim there.
Right.
But you might see in these coming videos that the sideboard changes slightly, for instance, Electrickery. But overall, I think it's a cool deck. I don't know if it's going to be very competitive, but I guess we're going to find out.
Well, we're going to play it in the Just for Fun room, so we're probably going to have to play it against all the best competitive decks Pauper has to offer. Anyway, so we'll see you guys
for match 1 against Blue-Black Control.